Hey guys, in today's video, I will be ranking every F-16 in War Thunder. This tier list will have 5 tiers, and I will rank the planes based on how well they perform relative to their battle rating, air-to-air capabilities, and air-to-ground capabilities. The first plane I will be ranking is the F-16A at a battle rating of 12.3 in air and 12.0 in ground in the American tech tree. The F-16A is the lowest BR F-16 in the game, and it is insanely good at its battle rating. For air-to-air capabilities, you get a 20mm Vulcan cannon and up to 6 AIM-9L or AIM-9J. For air-to-ground, you get 6 AGM-65B Maverick TV-guided missiles. You also get up to 4 2,000-pound or up to 19 5,000-pound bombs. Overall, this plane is the best dogfighter in air, and its ground capabilities are exceptional. This is a solid B tier. The next plane I will rank is the F-16 AOCU at a battle rating of 12.7 for air and 12.0 for ground in the French tech tree, and is a squadron vehicle. The F-16 AOCU is one of the best dogfighters at 12.7, and it's an excellent plane. For air-to-air, you get the 20mm Vulcan cannon and up to 6 air-to-air missiles, including AIM-9L, AIM-9M, and Magic II. For air-to-ground, you get AS-30L, Nord laser plus IOG air-to-ground missiles guided by ATLIS-2 targeting pod. Overall, this aircraft's amazing missile selection makes it one of the best 12.7 aircraft. This is a solid A tier. Next, I will be ranking the Israeli Nets and the Nets Mod at 12.7 for air and 12.0 for ground together, because they are very similar and only have minor differences. The Nets is very similar to the F-16 OCU, with the main difference being the lack of IRCCM missiles. It is an okay dogfighter at its battle rating. For air-to-air, its missile selection isn't great because you only get up to 6 Python 3 and AIM-9L. Neither one of these missiles have IRCCM, which means they are really easy to flare 90% of the time. For air-to-ground, you get almost the same selection as the F-16A, but you also get GBU, 31, JDAMS, and FFAR Mighty Mouse rockets. Overall, this plane isn't great because of its missile selection, so it gets a C tier. The next plane I will be ranking is the F-16AJ at a battle rating of 12.7 for air and 12.0 for ground. The F-16AJ is good plane at 12.7. It is similar to the F-16A, but it also has radar missiles included in its loadout. For air-to-air, you get a 20mm Vulcan cannon, 2 AM-7F, and 4 AM-9L in its optimized air-to-air loadout. For air-to-ground, you get the exact same loadout as the F-16A, this being up to 6 AGM-65B Mavericks, 4 2,000-pound bombs, 19 500-pound bombs, and FFAR Mighty Mouse rockets. Overall, this plane is great in air-to-air because it is the only 12.7 F-16 with radar-guided missiles giving it some BVR capabilities. This is a solid B tier. The next planes I will be talking about are the American F-16 AADF and the Italian F-16 AADF at a battle rating of 13.3 for air and 12.7 for ground. I am talking about these two together because they are functionally almost a 1-to-1. The F-16 AADF is an okay plane at 13.3, but it has two main flaws, which are its lack of countermeasures and lack of any air-to-ground munitions. You get a total of 45 chaff and flares, with 15 of those being high caliber. This awful for this battle rating. For air-to-air, you get a 20mm Vulcan cannon, up to 6 AIM-120A, AIM-7M, or AIM-9L, and for air-to-ground, well, you get nothing. Overall, this plane isn't great. Its air-to-air is pretty decent, but lacking sufficient countermeasures and air-to-ground munitions, this plane is unfortunately a D tier. Next, I will rank the F-16A in the French tech tree. This sits at a battle rating of 13.0 for air and 12.0 for ground. This is very similar to the F-16A OCU, but it lacks any Magic 2 missiles. But to make up for it, you can carry up to 240 countermeasures if you equip the BOL pods it comes with. Overall, it is a solid B tier. Next, I will be ranking the F2AAD-TW, which is a modified F-16. It is a premium in the Japanese tech tree, and it sits at a battle rating of 13.0 for air and 12.3 for ground. This heavily modified has a bigger wing surface, which generates more lift. This in turn makes it a better dogfighter than the F-16A, which is crazy. Although it has the same engine as the F-16, it is overall an insane borderline overpowered plane at 13.0. For air-to-air, you get 4 AIM-7M and 4 AAM-3 in the optimized loadout. The AAM-3 is simply a better AIM-9M, which pulls 40 grams instead of 30 grams and has better range. For air-to-ground, you get ASM-1 and ASM-2 anti-ship missiles and JDAM-62 glide bombs. This makes it, in my opinion, the best F-16 in the game. This is an amazing S tier. The next planes I will be ranking are the F-16C in the American tree and the F-16AM in the French tree. These two are together because they are very similar, with the main difference being the French one getting an extra 180 countermeasures. The F-16C has an upgraded engine, which means it is faster and has more power. But the F-16AM has more countermeasures, having up to 300 in total, while the F-16C only has 120. They both have the exact same air-to-air armament, being a 20mm Vulcan, up to 6 AIM-120A, AIM-9M, AIM-9L, and AIM-7M. For air-to-ground, they have AGM-65B and JDAM-38 and 62 glide bombs. Overall, both of these planes are amazing and are a solid A tier. Next, I will be ranking the F-16C Barak II. This is at a battle rating of 13.7 for air and 12.7 for ground. It is nearly identical to the American F-16C, but for air-to-air, you get the addition of Darby air-to-air missiles, and for air-to-ground, you get access to Spice 1000 and 2000 bombs. This is a solid A tier. Next, I will be ranking the F-16AM in the Swedish tree. This F-16 is really similar to the F-16ADF, but it is at 13.7 for air instead of 13.3, and for ground, it is the same battle rating. This F-16 gets up to 225 countermeasures, with 15 of these being large caliber. This F-16 also gets AIM-9M and a decent variety of air-to-ground munitions. Overall, this is a solid B tier. Next, I will be talking about the F-16 AMLU in the Chinese tree. This is at a battle rating of 13.3 for air and 12.7 for ground. This plane is excellent because, unlike the F-16 AADF at the same battle rating, it's 60 countermeasures, 30 of those being large caliber. For air-to-air, it gets up to 6 AIM-120A, AIM-9P, or AIM-9L. For air-to-ground, it gets up to 6 AGM-65B, 4 2,000-pound bombs, and 12 500-pound bombs. Overall, this plane is a solid A tier. Next, I will be talking about the F-16D Barak II at a battle rating of 13.3 in air and 12.7 for ground in the Israeli tech tree. This plane is dual-seat F-16 made for ground strike. For air-to-air, it gets up to 6 AIM-120A, AIM-9L, AIM-9M, and AIM-7M. For air-to-ground, it gets a large variety of guided bombs, including Spice 1000 and 2000 bombs. Overall, this plane is decent for its battle rating and is a B tier. The next plane I will be ranking is the F-16 El Sufa. This sits at a battle rating of 14.0 for air and 12.7 for ground. This is currently the highest BR F-16 in the game and the best for ground strike. For air-to-air, it gets up to 6 AIM-120C5, AIM-9M, and AIM-9L. For air-to-ground, it gets a very similar package to the F-16D, but it has more overall munitions. This an overall A tier. The last plane I will rank is the F-2A. The F-2A sights at a battle rating of 13.7 for air and 12.7 for ground. It is almost identical to the F-2A ADTU, but it gets AAM-4 missiles, which are upgraded AIM-120A. This plane is an easy S tier. Overall, this is the final list. I hope you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe. See you in the next one.